Alright, boys. You know what time it is. It is time. Let me make sure my mic's on. My mic is on. It is time to make my RLCS Fall Major predictions for the major that is in Stockholm, Sweden in about a week and a half. I know, I didn't make it. Guys, you don't have to be mean to me in the comments. I promise I've read them all. Didn't make it. But we're going to sit here and give my predictions for how this thing's going to go. Your favorite team, if I say they won't do well, don't be too mad at me. There's a dog snoring in my bed. Probably going to throw in a few like upsets here and there because there's going to be upsets, right? Like you can't just take the NA or EU team every time. So no one get butthurt. Just it's all for fun at the end of the day. But let's go ahead and get started. So the round one matches are pretty easy. I'll have a few upsets in here, but the general ones, I think this is a 3-0. NRG is probably one of the strongest teams coming into this tournament. Endpoint, this is a weird one because who knows what Seiko's going to do on LAN. That he looks like the best player in the world right now, but he's played 3 regionals and won 2 of them and got second in the other one, I think, or third, fourth, something. So I mean, you can't do much better than that. Renegade's a pretty experienced LAN team. But again, I don't see much happening from the OCE guys. I'll give them a 3-2 to be nice, but we'll see. Dignitas, I think they smacked Tokyo already. I think they got a really fortunate placing here. I mean, they're the 3rd seeded team and played the Asian team, which probably will be the worst team of the tournament. But, you know, what can they do? G2, Sandrock, this is actually one of the matchups that I find super interesting because Sandrock plays so fast and so does G2. It's going to be fun to watch. I know Sandrock's without Khaled, which sucks, but Senzo is pretty talented. But I can't see this going anyone's way other than G2. FaZe Vitality. Yeah, that is quite the first round matchup. Jesus, yeah, because Vitality got 5th seed. First Killers, first series in RLCS LAN, same with Alu. I do see this going in favor of Vitality. Not because Vitality is a better team, just because they're way more experienced. I think FaZe needs a series or 2 to get their feet under them, but they'll be good. But first series might be a little rough for them. BDS, Complexity. This is also one that could go either way. I think BDS will take it. Their form hasn't been great recently, and Complexity has been looking great recently, but I still think they're way more talented. Complexity could, I mean, that team plays off like confidence, so if they come out and take that first game, that could be rough. Ground Zero Envy. And I'm trying to go through these a little fast because there are so many matches that need to be played. Once I go to playoffs and in round 5, I'll provide a little bit more analysis, but there's just so many matches. I don't see that going any result other than that. I think Envy, they don't lose those. Semper Furia. This is also probably one of the better matchups of this whole thing. I actually have this going Furia's way. I think Archie will need a little bit to get used to the LAN environment, and Furia's obviously played on a ton of LANs. Or those guys, the South American guys, have been to the last like 4 or so. So that is how I have my first round going. Now we look at the high matches. NRG Vitality. I don't think Vitality's talented enough to keep up with NRG at this very moment. Alpha, obviously one of the best players in EU, but K-Dop and Ferry have not looked great this season. Specifically Ferry, to be honest, but Energy's looked great, best team in the world probably right now going into this tournament. I think if you have a team favored over them right now, you're crazy, to be honest. They dominated NA, and all 3 of them are world champions that play well under pressure. So, Dig BDS. This is one that happened in Europe a lot this season. I do think Dignitas is in better form right now, but we'll have this going BDS's way. I feel like they'll kind of bounce back after their, not rough because obviously they got 3rd seed, that's not rough, but to their standards, rough split so far. I think they'll be coming in with some hunger. G2 Endpoint, again, like I said, Endpoint, they looked great online. I don't think Seiko, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think he's ever played in a LAN. G2 has obviously played in a ton. Trees also hasn't played in a LAN, but Chicago and JNFs are vets. They're the old guard, and You guys might not understand it because you've never played a LAN, but it means a ton. It means a lot more than you think. So I will have this going G2's way. I think Chicago. I think this is going to be his LAN. We'll see, though. Furia Team Envy. The way that Team Envy plays, I don't see a world where Furia wins unless they are hard peeking. Envy plays a super slow, like counter-attacky, don't get scored on playstyle, and Furia plays super aggressive, go, 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 leave a bunch of open nets, score a ton, get scored on a ton, try and score more than we get scored on. So, especially on LAN, I don't see that working against Envy. I'm actually going to have, this one is only 3-0 as the high matches. Now we get to the low ones. These should be a little bit more self-explanatory. Sorry to the minor regions. I don't have much faith in you, FaZe. I think they smack Era 3-0. Complexity, Tokyo Verde. I think this is 3-1. Renegade Sandrock could be interesting, especially with Sandrock with a sub. Obviously, I've never watched them with Senza. I watched them with their full roster, but I do have this going their way still. We'll see how that goes. I'm not as knowledgeable on the minor regions as I am in NAU, but I've watched quite a bit. Ground Zero Semper. Ground Zero is coming to this tournament with a lot of hype from the OCE region, but I don't see Semper losing this one. We're gonna go like that. Archie's too talented. He'll need a series to get his feet under him, and then from then he'll start banging. We'll start with the low matches here. Actually, Renegades Era. I have Renegades winning this pretty comfortably, and I have Ground Zero winning this pretty comfortably. I don't think I need to explain myself on this one very much. Tokyo, I don't have much faith in you, I'm sorry. You're new to RLCS, you have no experience. You know, goodbye. Era, you're the second best team in South America, but Renegades have looked great this season. They trolled the third regional and lost their first seed, but other than that, they've looked great. So that's who I have going home in the third round. Round 3 mid matches. These are interesting as well. Dignitas should have no problem with Sandrock. I mean, Appjack and Joruz both have looked in great form recently. That should not be trouble for them. Endpoint December. I keep looking at this match. I'm actually going to have another upset here. I'm going to have Semper winning this 3-2. And the reason for that, Chaussette and Casio, they've been here before, right? Endpoint, obviously, Mets has been here before, 10 years ago. They looked great. They're the first seed in Europe, second seed in the world. But I do think, and I mean, obviously, I can't be boring. I got to make some hot takes in this video. I do think they're going to be the team that does not do as well as everyone thinks they will. They're completely new to the top. I hope they prove me wrong. I actually love those guys a lot, but they're very new to the top. And again, like I said, you guys don't understand like what LAN changes. It is a completely different game. So I do think Semper will win that, and I think Archie will go off. Furia FaZe. This is another one. I think Furia is a great team. This could go either way, but I'll have FaZe in this one. Will I? No, I'm going to have Furia in this one, actually. FaZe struggles playing the fast teams like True Neutral, and Furia is fast as can be, so I'll have Furia upset in that one. Vitality Complexity. Oh, that's a balanced one, too. Vitality has the experience, Complexity has the passion and the grind and the recent results to back them up. What are we thinking here? I'm gonna say the experience is too much for Complexity. I think they're gonna give up a ton of open nets for Vitality because Complexity, as good as they are, they get super jumpy when they're nervous, and they're either super jumpy or they give you the entire field. And Vitality's gonna abuse that. So I'm gonna have that going 3-1. And now we have the first two teams making it to the playoffs. I have NRG coasting through Swiss 3-0 in Swiss. This will probably go 3-1. Like I said, most experienced team here, best team here. What else can you ask for? NVG2, I have this going in favor of the G2 boys. Recent form, they've looked great. Envy hasn't looked the best. Chicago has been playing the best Rocket League he's ever played. Dries has looked super solid. GNEPS is still scoring everything. These are my two teams that I'll have be going 3-0, Mr. NRG and G2. Bang. I was like, why is that not generating? Go back to the low matches. So we have Tokyo and Era already knocked out. Now we have loser of these getting knocked out. So, phase round 0. This is where I have the round 0 boys coming to an end, sadly. I think phase first go is just too strong. We'll see. I don't. As much as I watch OCE finals and semis sometimes, they look great when they're playing OCE players. I'm not trying to disrespect Australia or that region at all, but it's First Killer. He's the best player in the world, in my opinion, and I don't think Ground Zero is going to come in hot enough for him. Then we have Complexity and Renegades. I'll have Complexity taking this 3-2. I think it'll be closer than people think, but in the end of the day, they're more talented than Renegades roster, so we'll see. Endpoint Sandrock. Here, I will have the Endpoint boys. They're, again, just, I think, probably too talented for the Sandrock roster, especially with the sub. Probably haven't been scrimming with them as much as they can. I mean, they have like a month with them, and that's not a long time when you're playing rosters that have been together for 6 months, 9 months, years. So, I will have this 3-1. Round 4 high matches. Envy Vitality. I have Envy taking that. Let's say 3-1. Both teams slower, more controlled teams. I just think Envy is more talented. That's just really all it is. BDS Furia. I will have BDS going through on this. I think Furia is going to just outplay themselves, just throw the ball, give open nets. Because, I mean, that's typically what the South American teams, even Complexity and the faster teams usually do. They play super fast, great offense, but they leave the net wide open and leave their teammates in 1v1s a lot. And I think BDS will take advantage of that. So I'll have that 3-0. Dignitas Semper. Dang, Dig is going for the EU Gauntlet. I have Dignitas taking this. They have Scrubkilla, obviously very experienced. Lan Goat, Season 8. He 1v3'd us. I don't even want to think about it. But I'll have him going through here in the high. Oh, what's going on here? Alright, we're good. Round 5. So, how long? We're 12 minutes in this video? Okay, we're making good time. Semper phase. This one could go either way, sorry. I do have FaZe taking them out in 5. I think First Killer is going to show up. It's his first LAN, but he's hungry. He's been grinding, so I think this is where FaZe make the playoffs. Endpoint Vitality. I'm going to have Vitality. I'm actually going to have Endpoint knocked out in the Swiss. Before you yell at me, I've already explained my thought process. They could go 3-0 and I'd look stupid, but I'm not going to sit here and pick the higher seeded team every single time. That's just boring. Vitality's coming in with more experience than anyone but NRG. Maybe more, actually. Endpoint's coming in completely new. They look great online. There's a ton of pressure that goes into these majors. I love their team mentality. They get scored on 5 times and they're still laughing. But I think Vitality on LAN, especially Alpha, if he's playing well, is going to be too much. Furia, Complexity, the battle of the South Americans. I'm going to have this going Complexity's way. Complexity. No, I'm going to have this going Furia's way. Don't ask me why. It's honestly just a hunch. Complexity's talented. Furia's talented. Both great teams. I don't know. I'm feeling the Furia dub there. I'm feeling a little upset. Okay. How do we get to playoffs? Is this how we get to playoffs? Here we go. We're in playoffs. So yeah, that's my Swiss. I have NRG, G2 on 3-0. Dig, Envy, BDS, 3-1. FaZe, Vitality, Furia, 3-2. So at the end of the day, we got 4 NA teams, 3 EU, and a SAM. Okay, yeah, I like that. NRG, Furia. I think NRG wins this, but I think it's going to be closer than people think. Furia is great, and they're fast, but they're not as talented as NRG. They're, again, super experienced. I've said it 20 times this video, but it's true. They're coming in with all the hype. Like everyone, any sane person is like, okay, if I had to put my life on the line, Energy wins this LAN. That's just how it's just gonna be. NVBDS, interesting one actually. Everyone says Turbo LAN, Turbo LAN, Turbo LAN. BDS coming in with their first LAN as a team. First LAN for the players, I think, as well. I think Extra's played it a LAN, but I don't think the other two have. I'm going to have Envy taking this one, actually. I think they're going to be super strong on LAN. I think Atomic's going to keep up his form. He looks like a top 3 player in NA right now. I think BDS, they've been on a downtrend recently. Obviously, their downtrend is still 3rd in EU, which is ridiculous, but I do have them getting taken out by Envy here, 4-1. G2 Vitality, the rematch of Season 7. Gonna have G2 taking this one through. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling a G2 dub. Vitality, as experienced as they are, have looked not... I mean, they barely squeaked into the LAN. They shouldn't have even squeaked into the LAN, to be honest. I think they got 2nd, 16th, 8th, or 4th, 16th, 8th. I don't know, something. They either got 2nd or 4th, I forget. But yeah, that was a little fortunate for them. They had a lot of stuff go their way. But I think this is where their run ends. They made a top 8. Alpha is the GOAT. But I think this is where they end at 4-2. Dignitas FaZe Clan. I know, guys, it looks NA, but I do have the first European dub right here. Abstract Drawers have been in incredible form. Scrub is a certified LAN GOAT. FaZe is new to this. As much as I hype up First Killer, it's his first RLCS LAN. Alu hasn't been playing his best recently. AG's been good, but I don't see them playing well against this heavy demo squad of Dignitas, especially if Drawers is on, because mechanical players usually have a rougher time on LAN, but if Drawers is playing well, then Dignitas will take this match. Now we have... I'm trying to make this about 20 minutes. This will be good. Now we have the semis. We'll start with this one, actually. G2 Dig. Could go either way. I think these teams are super evenly matched. I think it's all about who performs better on the day. If I had to guess who's going to perform better on the day, I would say the G2 boys. They're a phenomenal team. Trees looked great. Chicago's looked the best he ever has. Like I said earlier, JNAPS looks like JNAPS. He's always consistent. They're land vets, not trees, but the other two have been in this situation before. I think they're making finals. NRG Envy. This is one that I think most people should agree with me on. I think NRG will take this one. Again, they look great. They look like the best team in the world right now. I mean, they've dominated NA first, and second, or first, second, fourth, something like that. They've just been great. There's not much else to say. Squishy's looked great. Garrett's looked great. Justin's looked great. They're just looking good. Envy Mist has had probably the worst split since RLCS X started. Like out of the 4 splits, this is probably his worst one. He's not been grinding. Atomic has been stepping it up, but I don't think it'll be enough. I think this will be a 4-1. And now we have the NA versus NA championship. Any team in the top 8 other than Furia could realistically make this. But if I had to put my life on the line, this is the match that I would have in the finals. I think G2 comes out hot. Not 43. They can't win 43 games in a best of 7. I think G2 comes out hot here. And I think Energy regains a little bit. They have a pretty strong mental. And then I think, as much as I want to say the G2 boys will win, I do think solely on the fact that this is Drees' first LAN, and again, as great of a player as he is, I've seen him choke in these high pressure situations. It's when they play NRG and these series go all the way down to the wire, it's always his fault. And I mean that in the least toxic way possible. He's teamed with the best duo in NA. There's not many players that could do what he's done so far this season, and RLCS X. But out of the 6 players, in this final. I think he is clearly outmatched, outexperienced, and that will be the deciding factor in this series. And I have this going 4-0 actually in favor of NRG. So these are my LAN predictions. Feel free to screenshot it, put it on Reddit. Make sure everyone laughs at me for putting Endpoint at 10th. We'll see. Okay, we'll see. You guys come back to this in 2 weeks, and we'll see how accurate I was. Probably not very, because these are very hard to be accurate with. But thank you guys for watching. Enjoy the Sweden Major. I know I will be watching. I might do a watch party down at twitch.tv/RetalsRL. I'll put a link in the description. Don't know yet. Enjoy it. I know I will be a little sad that I didn't make this one, and it'll sing to watch, but all the SSG fans, I hope you guys are still hanging out. We have been a lot of team talks, a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, but we will be sticking with our same roster, and we'll be grinding it out. So we'll see. Hopefully this is the only one we miss out of the next 3. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, comment. Let me know your predictions, which ones you hated, which ones you liked of mine. And I will see you guys after the major. Peace.